Hello everyone, I am Tacit and welcome to the Gems of War, Campaign 14, week 6, day 3. So today, of course, we have pretty much nothing going on. We got the pet rescue thingy. I believe I already have this max, is for the Urskea bonus, not to be confused with the Urska bonus. This Urskea one should be the kingdom itself, the kingdom of Urskea, which means applies to only the kingdom, not specifically to the Urskas of the kingdom. So, yeah, there we go. Anyways, in other news, we are going to basically be hunting down merchants and angels pretty much the entire stream, as there is almost nothing else we really need to grind at the moment, unless we just want to do some Explore 12 tokens. So that's pretty much the game plan, since we don't have as many events going on this week, so it's mostly going to be a pretty grind week. And of course, tomorrow we have the class event and all that. This Friday we do have a weekend event, but you know, it's gonna be one of those that gets done like an hour on the first day. But where should we start? Let's go with the basic dailies first. See if we can get a top 3. Oh no, we've been so unlucky on these lately. Curse burn, not the worst we could be hit with, but still. Anyways, hello everyone. Hope all you guys have been having a wonderful week. Hello Humberto. Hello Bill. Hello Jonian. Hello Jason. Hello Imperial. Hello Cookie. Hello, Chad. Hello, Isabel. Welcome everyone. Alright, let's see. What do we need here? We'll take the red. Grab our good old Zolga. Let's just probably get a counter up for how many merchants and angels we get this stream. We'll do that once we get there. Just to keep track, because I don't feel like I grabbed that much data on them. Pretty sure someone by now has. But I personally haven't been. Because I'm not even sure what the actual angel rate per hour is. Because we have so many outlier hours. Like ones with none, ones with a dozen. It's hard to really figure out where exactly it is. I want to say like 3 per hour is probably the angel rate within the game. I want to say like once every 20 minutes, give or take a little. Well, I'll see the stream. We'll go for like an hour-ish and see about how many we end up getting ultimately. And if we do that a couple times this week, we can kind of get a slightly better idea of what their rates are. Because they do have some pretty good drops. Later in the game, you get Imperials from them. Or sorry, not Imperials. Well, you always get all of these from it, but you know, when you spend it for the resources, changes over the game. But what I meant to say is deeds. Because deeds are something you wouldn't necessarily want to do super early on them. Same as niches, until you get a little bit later in the game where it's actually worthwhile to go for them. But there are some things you would always get, like the 10,000 gold writs. Super absurdly good value. It's basically 2 deeds for free. And of course we don't do anything there. Alright, I can swap our guild with the world event too, might as well. I believe we still need to get that done. And it's an okay team this week. We have access to infinite truffle, so it's not that bad. Could be better. We'll roll with it. It'll tell us, prompt us, hey, do you want to change your metals? And we do. And we're just going to run it with double truffle. Infinite loop for our stroll. I said, hello, Jason. Welcome. Alright, we can double the green. Start getting that rolling. But yeah, Gems of War, always been one of those to not really balance events. As far as like the distribution of them. Because I believe we have pretty much nothing going on this week. Pretty much nothing going on next week. And then like every week after that, there's like a billion things going on. Because within a short duration of time, almost within the same week or two, we are going to have a guild war, the end of the campaign, the first new Doom weapon in a year, 7.0, whatever 7.0 brings, as well as the summer event. All within like a 2-week period of each other. So there's going to be a lot of things going on soon. But then we have a week like this where there's like a Monday event, a Friday event, and that's it. Not the well-balanced of distributing it all. That happens some weeks. Also, I am not sure how, but another bug has found its way into my room today. And I know for sure it's a different one. Because I got the previous one. I have no clue how. The dog hasn't even been here lately, so maybe it's just getting in through the vents. There's no hole in the window, so it can't be that. I double-checked the screens and everything. So I am not sure how they are getting in. It was really rainy today, so that might have brought some of the bugs in general. Because the other week I was like, oh, there's like no bugs coming in, and now the entire week later, I've been like ultra jinxed and have found at least one bug every day. I think it's mostly just the weather shift that's starting to cause it. Now that's getting really summer-like. And today was mostly the rain probably shoving them in. Because it's been pretty gloomy today. Like, it's been nice weather lately, but we got a lot of rain today. Hello, Stacy. Welcome, welcome. You know, I'm going to go for the explode. And get the truffle in there. When's next Vault event? Do we actually know when next Vault event is, now that I think about it? Because I don't think we do. It's likely July. I don't think we have an official date yet, do we? I can check the Terran's Road real quick. Last I recall, we don't have an official date. And we probably won't until 7.0 comes out. So we probably have to wait like 3-4 weeks before we know when next Vault event is. Like, we won't know until like right at the point. Oh yeah, also we're going to be getting booty gems around that time too. There's still one achievement we can't get. But we're going to have a whole season of booty. And we just need to get 20 booties for the achievement. That's not keepable until next season, though. Anyways, I want to go check something real quick, if I could type. Alright, what am I looking for here? Let's see. I am looking for... weekly. Do we have a vault? I'm not seeing one. This is the holiday event. Yep, we don't know. There's no vault. So next Vault event isn't until the second Friday or the second week of July at the earliest. It could be later than that. But the earliest it can be is the second, is that the third? Whatever, the second week of July is the earliest it could be, that Friday. I think that's the third Friday of the month. That's not to say it will be on that day, but that's the earliest date it can be based on what we know. Which is like, what, July 15th? That's not to say it is July 15th, but that's the earliest date it could be. Is July 14th. It's back! Where'd it go? I just saw it. There's the paranoia of just always having a insect buzzing around you. Very annoying. Honestly, I'd almost rather have the spider back. I'm about to start not taking out the spiders. In all fairness, I do still have a spider. He's in that corner over there. But he doesn't do anything. He just sits there in his web. And the bugs don't come to him. He just waits for the bugs to go there, and they never do. Yes, I keep one resident spider. Only one. But he doesn't do anything. Alright, there we go, all the battles. Hey, we get a reward too. Anything good? Nope. Alright, what's on the adventure board today? Have we even checked? Nothing, pretty much. Well, I guess I'll grab the glory too, might as well. It's not that much, but, you know, it adds up. What team do I even want? Let's run, we'll go back to Magnesia, why not? Get a few quick Magnesia kills in there. Hello, Supernova! Welcome, welcome. Also, once we clear out the dailies, we'll go put up a tracker for how many, what's it called, we found. Actually, I need to go make a new one for it, because I don't even think I have an Angel Merchant tracker. Not gonna take that long to make one, though. We have kept track of it in the past, I'm just not sure if I've ever made a thing for it. I can make this into one, though. What am I doing? I need, There we go. Now, if I can only figure out how to move it without moving something else on accident. There we go. There we go. Merchant 0, angel 0. I'm not sure why I did merchant angel instead of plural. I guess because it's 0, so it's singular. Oh no, is 0 technically considered singular? Because you can still say you have 0 merchants, as in plural. You can also say you don't have a merchant. Which is kind of weird, because 0 can both be plural and singular, depending on how you phrase it. Obviously, it's neither. But because it's neither, it could technically be both, but how you phrase it. You have to phrase it in either a singular or multi-fashion, even though it is technically neither. Because we don't have, like, a neutral, numerical expression. I'm not sure what the term to use for, but we don't have, like, a proper adjective for, like, zeros of a something in the word context. Because we have singular, we have multi, but we don't really have, like, a 0 version of any word. Like, what is 0 angels called? Like, we don't have, like, a additive for a word or detraction to make it 0. You just have to use it in a context that it does make it 0. Anyways, we're still using, like, the singular or the multi version of it. Anyways. What was I doing? We did that. Let's go, get some angels and merchants. Well, we contemplate the concept of 0. Anyways, where's Ironhawk? Yes, but that's what I was saying. The word angels in that context is plural. You're using the plural form of angels while describing something that is 0. And I was saying you can use a singular or plural depending on how you make the sentence, but there's not a way to make the word into neither. Because saying no angels, yes, you're denoting that there is 0 angels, but you're using the plural form of angels to describe a 0 number, which is what I was mentioning earlier. Like, we don't have a completely neutral version of saying it in the English language. I'm not sure if any language does, but the English language doesn't have a way to denote 0 properly. Well, you can say that there is no angel, but you can also say that there are no angels. One is singular, one is plural, but neither denote 0. Like, obviously, both of them mean 0. Like, you say that and someone will know that you mean 0. But saying angel is singular, and saying angels is plural, despite you mentioning something that is 0 numerically. There's a lot of issues with 0. There's probably a whole philosophy on it. To a degree, all mathematics kind of is like that. It's very human-made, so it has a lot of issues like that sometimes, if you think way too deep into it. English is very strange, yes. Hello, Gustavo. Welcome. You be Nana the Thumb? Oh, gosh. Have I ever thought of becoming a philosophy professor? I actually do enjoy philosophy a lot. I studied it slightly in college. I have considered it as a profession before, but then I tried looking into what on earth you could even do with a philosophy degree, and I don't know, it's just kind of weird. Like, you can do a lot more with a psychology degree than you can a philosophy degree. If I ever was to go for one. Though I would say I enjoy philosophy more than psychology. But psychology is more practical. Philosophy is exceedingly not practical. From a you want to make money standpoint and actually survive. Because unless you're already well off, yeah, there's no point in getting into philosophy. As a career choice. Because it's a really weird field to make it in. Philosophical therapist. Hello, Emernator. Welcome, welcome. Let the session begin. Also, I just realized I haven't been keeping track of the thing. I think we have found one so far. I do that all the time. I remember when we initially kept track of angels and merchants when they first came out. I would forget to update them so often. I feel like for other things I always remember, but something about merchants and angels, I always forget to update them when we get them. I would make a better senator with the circle doublespeak. Oh no, I'd be a bad debater. Though it is almost debate season in America. I might get back into politics for it. We'll see. Not me becoming one, but I mean like actually keeping track with this season. I honestly haven't been. Personally this time around. The Trump era of America was a bit more interesting. Like, obviously it's still going to be Trump in this one and a bunch of other people. I don't know, I felt like the other two election cycles were a lot more fun. This one seems kind of bland so far. You would be a master debater. Yes, I have heard that joke before. When does Dokapon release? Good question. I have not the slightest clue. I'm not sure if we'll play it at launch, but we might. I have such a backlog of games, though. I still need to go play all the Mega Man games. We still barely done that from the other month. Because what ended up happening is, we then did Breath of the Wild. We didn't so I could do Tears of the Kingdom. And then we were doing Darkest Dungeon 2, which we're still doing. And we'll be finishing next week. And then, yeah, we'd get around to Mega Man. And then, yeah, I guess Dokapon would be after that. So we might be doing it before Mega Man at this point because, oh no, let's see. When does Dokapon come out? That is a good question. I don't know, Google, go. Dokapon, Kingdom, Connect. When does this release? Release date, go. May... Already released? Oh, a month ago. Wait, did it already release? I have no clue. Let's see. Oh yeah, it did already release a month ago. Wow, there's so many games that released last month that I wanted to play that I didn't even realize Dokapon Kingdom is already re-released. That's insane. How many games came out last month that I wanted to play? I think literally every game in existence that I wanted to play this year all came out last month. That's kind of insane. Like, not a single one waited to distribute across the year. There's literally all of them came last month. That is absolutely insane. Yeah, apparently it's already out. We'll do it probably sometime this summer. When exactly? Hopefully after we've done Darkest Dungeon 2 and hopefully at least one or two of the more of the Mega Man games. Because I definitely want to play through all 4. Well, maybe we'll get around to 5. And honestly, if we do 5, we might as well just do it all the way and go to 6, which is the final one ever released. Oh no, we'll see where we go with Mega Man later this month. Because each one would probably take about a week or 2 to finish, I would assume. It depends if we just, like, rush down the storyline or not. Hello, D13! Welcome, welcome. Oh, you just got the Violet DLC? Nice. I still haven't bought the DLC for it yet. Doesn't it not come out until, like, August or something? Diablo 4 released last week. Yeah, I did see that. Oh no, I've kind of boycotted Blizzard at this point after what they did to Warcraft 3. Because it's one of my favorite games of all time and they kind of ruined it. So I kind of never want to play another Blizzard game again. I did play Diablo 2 back in the day. Never got around to playing Diablo 3. A lot of people in the past suggested we did, or do. But, I don't know. We'd maybe take a look at it. Isn't it like $70 or something, though? Like almost every AAA game these days. I don't know, how much is, Because if it was like $40, I'd be like, ah, maybe. If it's like a whole $70 and microtransactions, does it even have microtransactions? I'm not even sure. I know the other games did. Let's see, like their mobile game and everything. But how much is it? Diablo 4. Because I could have sworn, wasn't Diablo 2 back in the day like $30 or something? Diablo 4 price. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's 70. And if you want the Ultimate Edition, 100. Let me guess. Diablo 4. Do you have microtransactions? Let's see. It does have microtransactions? Really? It's $100 and has microtransactions? Well, technically 70, but... let's see. That's insane. It's like as modern of a game as you get. $70 with a $100 bundle with a microtransactions on top. Oh gosh. I assume it's not as bad as the mobile game though, in that regard, or sure hope so. Yes, hello, Random Walk. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, Diablo 2 is the only Diablo game I ever played. And I played it when I was, like, absurdly young. Like, we're talking 6, 7, 8 years old? Oh no, when did Diablo 2 come out? Wasn't it 2002? So it would have been 8 years old if it came out in 2002. Or 7 if it was 2001. So have our Merchant and Angel luck been this bad, or have I forgotten to keep track of some? Because I'm pretty sure it's just been this bad. We're like 15 minutes in with one. One way to keep track of it too is maybe keep track of all 4 just to see exactly the ratio that we're getting to. Because a lot of time that I've been keeping track of it, I've only been keeping track of Merchant and Angels. Because realistically, they're the only 2 that matter. But similar to us keeping track of ingots when we're keeping track of those orbs. Maybe we should keep track of all 4 just to get a better number. Tomorrow night we will. What's tonight's goal? Find an angel. We will hand out a redeem code when we find an angel. And I will hand out a second redeem code if we somehow find a second angel before we end this stream. How about that? But, yeah, we're angel hunting. Technically merchant hunting too, but, obviously the angels are better. I don't want to spend for Anu. Oh, do I? I don't know. I still haven't fully come to a conclusion if 3 Anus is worth it for that. It is and isn't. I'd rather spend 180 gems towards Nishas than spend it to Anu's. Which makes me not want to do it on Anu. As I'd rather do the same thing, but do it to Anisha. You're up all night to get lucky. It could technically take that long to find one. They're a rather elusive creature that likes to come in bunches of like 5 at a time and then never see one for hours. But I do believe on average it's like 20 minutes per angel. You just can get really unlucky sometimes. Yeah, 6-9 is coming soon. Mythic tier list this Friday. Should hopefully be able to get it out by then. It is the game plan. Still not convinced? You'll be convinced when you see it this Friday. It will likely be later on Friday, but it will be out on Friday, almost guaranteed. Soon TM. Intensifying. Is the video finished yet? No. But almost everything in regard to it is. I basically just have to click record and go for like 3 hours. Because there's no way that's going to be a short video. I also haven't written up the description yet. But most of it can just be copy-pasted from the list. Because there's basically 2 descriptions for how I'm doing the video. Because the one in the description, the one in the comment section will be slightly different. Because there's a limit of 100 timestamps on YouTube. And I theoretically need 230 or somewhere around there. So I'm splitting half in the description, the other half in the first pinned comment. Because for whatever reason, I don't believe YouTube has lifted the 100 tag limit for how many timestamps you can put down. Because I'm timestamping... oh yeah, that's also something else I haven't done yet. Because I can't until the video's actually recorded. But I haven't actually gotten all the timestamps yet. For every mythic. Because you kind of need the video to be done to get all the timestamps. So hello, Humberto. How can we get those Horde Mimic cards? Oh, you get it from doing Explore over and over and over again. Basically, the way that it works is there's about a 10% chance to get a Mimic. 2 times Mimic. Every time you open up a Explore chest. There is then a 10% chance that that 2 times Mimic will turn into a 5 times Mimic. And there's approximately a 10% chance in that 5 times Horde Mimic that you will get a Horde Mimic card. So it's like a triple 10% you have to get through. There has been some people mentioning that it's not exactly 10%. But to my understanding, it's 3 10% rolls you basically have to get. From data that I've personally collected. So people might have data mined or gotten other data from other pools of data. But from what I could tell, it's 3 10% rolls that you have to clear. Basically being a 0.1% then? Per every single time you find a chest. Which means you have to find about 1,000 chests to be able to get one. And also, to my understanding, they're all weighted evenly. So like an Explorer 1 would have the same chance of Explorer 12. However, it is still best to do it on Explorer 12. Because you can cycle more chests through Explorer 12. Whereas if you do it on Explorer 1, you're going to get substantially less chests. The chests themselves have the same chance of being it, but the actual rate at chests is absurdly slow. Yeah, saying it as a percent makes it sound absurdly low, but it's approximately a 0.1% chance per chest you open that you will ultimately, by the end of the whole process, get a Mimic. Could be slightly lower or higher than that. But that's per chest open, and by per chest open, I mean every single time you click this button right here to open that thing. There's effectively, by the end of all the clicking in battles, that you will have a 0.1% chance of getting a Horde Mimic by the end. Yeah, it's a very useless troop, but it does have two benefits. One is it's an achievement in the game, one of the more annoying RNG-based ones, but you do get an achievement for finding it. The more important thing, other than the achievement, is it actually does come out as a Kingdom troop. It counts as a troop for Dragon's Claw, so it effectively gives you one additional star for Dragon's Claw. I mean, yeah, Dragon's Claw. Or Dragon's... whatever that one is called. Dragon... why do I forget the name of this place? Yeah, Dragon's Claw. Why did that sound weird for some reason? But yeah, it's one... it counts as a mythic for Dragon's Claw. So not only is it one more troop for the upgrade, but it can also count as your mythic if you don't have any mythics from the location yet. That you can end up utilizing for the level 20 upgrade, as well as whatever upgraded you need 2 mythics for. I don't remember what level you need. There's one of them that you needed that for as well. Anyways, let's keep going. Oh, also, I forgot to update the other merchant. Let me go do that. I'm not sure why. Something about merchants and angels. I am always so bad at keeping track of every merchant. I feel like we normally do all the angels correctly. But I am so bad at making that number go up by 1 every time we see a merchant. I'll catch you later, Chad. Thanks for stopping by. Good week. Yeah, it is attached to a kingdom. The only troops that aren't, that are mythic, are the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse and Exynos. But aside from those, every other mythic in the entire game... unless I'm forgetting of one. Oh, and Underworld Treasure, I guess. So those 6 are the only 6 mythics that do not count for a kingdom upgrade. The 4 Horsemen, Exynos, and Sacred Treasure. Every other mythic in the game does count for a kingdom star. There's no mythics and vaults. But yes, all vault troops do not count towards kingdom upgrades. I was referring to only mythics. And there's no mythic vault troop yet. So there probably will be at some point. But currently there is not. That's one of the reasons I've also been hoarding my epic vault keys. Because a mythic vault troop definitely sounds like something that'd be in an epic vault key exclusively. Currently none exist. But it definitely seems like something they could do in the future. Hey, another merchant. What do we have here? Hey, speaking of epic vault key. Goodbye, epic vault key. Too bad it wasn't an angel. Alright, 4 merchants, no angel. Come on, angel, I want to head out a redeem code. They're out there somewhere. Did we actually end up ultimately getting an angel last night? I believe we did, didn't we? Like right at the end. Or did we actually go 0 last night? I don't remember. We've been so elusive lately. You got your second angel this stream? Nice. It offered you 5 iron ingots and a gold ring. Does it count? I guess it technically counts. Yeah, some of the angel loot is so bad sometimes. But then you find the really good ones. And sometimes you find a double good one where you actually have to ponder which one's better. And other times they're both so bad you have to figure out which one is worse. So, Scott. Is it worth buying the extra copies of the Trials pet each week? Yes. It is actually worth maxing it every week if you're at least like 5,000 plus gems. Especially if you're at like 10,000 plus. It is actually the cheapest way you can ever buy a pet. Generally, it costs on average about 2,510 gems to max a pet. Give or take a little bit depending on how lucky or unlucky you get on baskets. However, doing it through the story pet... Hey, an angel! Finally, we'll go hand out a code. But doing it through... No! We got awful this though. Well, 10 curse runes at least. But doing it through... what was I saying? Oh yeah, trials. So yes, it is always worth getting it as long as you have the gems for it. You basically get a max pet for 1,000 gems, which is 2.5 times cheaper than like the next cheapest way you can get a pet. So it is actually pretty good value to always max out the story pet as you do those battles. Obviously, depending on how many gems you have, you might want to consider if it is ultimately worth it. Because earlier on in the game, you'd probably get better value from some other things, like 50 bulk buying gem keys and stuff like that. But yes, it is very much worth buying a max pet for 1,000, especially a kingdom pet. Kingdom bonus is one of the most useful bonuses in the game, and every story pet is a kingdom bonus for only 1,000 gems, which makes them really absurdly good value. And you only have to do one per week, so you can kind of set aside some gems preemptively. Though it is pretty pricey, 1,000 every single week, basically, until you have them all. Does that up pretty quickly. Anyways, we finally got an angel. Let's go hand out a code. Okay, let's go find another, hopefully. If we find another angel, we'll hand out another code. How about that? Up to a cap of 3. In case we get, like, absurdly lucky somehow. I highly doubt we're getting 3 angels this stream, though. But if we somehow get a 4th, we'll hand it out for the first 3. And that's the first one. You have no problem, everyone. Enjoy. And as Emanator mentioned, definitely feel free to leave a like on the stream. Helps a lot and is greatly appreciated. If you guys have anything else you want me to go over or talk about, let me know. Because this is pretty much what we're doing all week. There's pretty much every other small event we have, you know, it's gonna take like almost no time at all. Definitely a really grind-heavy week. Or, you know, it's just do whatever in game week. Like, there's basically no objectives this week. Which, honestly, I kind of like weeks like this in Gems of War. These are really chill. You can just do whatever. And if you really don't feel like playing the game, you can get almost every single weekly done on, like, Sunday. Like, if you only played Sunday this week, you would get literally everything important done this entire week within, like, an hour or two. Like, you could complete the entirety of Gems of War week within, like, an hour or two this Sunday, if you so choose. There's that little going on. Which is kind of a good thing sometimes. A lot less that is, like, mandatory things. Or at least things that feel, like, semi-mandatory. And you could do Underworld that way, too. Assuming you have finished the battle for every Underworld battle, but how many Underworlds there are, you can delay the daily Underworld for 13 days in a row. Well, technically 12 days in a row, and then on the 13th you have to do it. Because you can delay 3 battles per day. And then just do them at a later point. And then one day, like a week from then, you just do all the battles at once. And then, like, repeat the process. There's a lot of mechanics in Gems of War that allow you to do that. Unfortunately, they've been adding some that you can't do every single, or like you have to do every single day. But for the most part, most events are delayable until, like, the end of the week. Other than the ones that are, like, only one day long kind of things. And some of the newer ones that they've been adding that you have to do, like, every day. Which I hope they don't keep doing that. That's, like, one of the worst mechanics from their other game of Puzzle Quest 3. And while Gems of War has a few instances of it, they're not particularly high. Like, the next instance of that we're going to be having, unless 7.0 does something with it, is the summer event. The summer event you have to do every day, otherwise you lose value. So if you're not doing it literally every day, you're missing out on some loot. But many other modes you can just kind of delay. Underworld can theoretically be delayed for 12 to 13 days. Weekend events can be delayed till the final day. Weekly events can be delayed till the final day. Unless it's Guild War, in which case you do get a small benefit for doing every day. Because if your guild wins, you get, like, extra XP the following day and a few extra seals. Which might not sound like much, but it's like 2.5 gems keys worth of seals. Which, you know, depending on what point you are in the game, 2.5 gem keys can actually be a lot of key. Seals in general are kind of pretty misleading like that. Like, I feel like seals don't feel like they're that much loot, but every 20 seals is basically the equivalent of a gem key. Or half a gem key if you still need to get all the Guardian troops. Which is a lot of value. Especially when you're still in the phase where you need like 1 billion keys to get everything. One thing I do feel slightly tempted to do, which we haven't done in a very absurdly long time, is make a brand new account when 7.0 comes out. I have been considering it. Because the last time we made a new account was when the Switch version came out. At this point, that was like 3 or 4 years ago. So, yeah, we could definitely use for a new little mini-series on it. See what the new player experience is these days. It's really fun for the first few weeks. But then I feel like you're just better off just grinding the main account rather than the new one. But those first few weeks are a lot of fun. Technically, it's still fun after that. But beyond that point, I feel like I'd just be better off just grinding stuff on my main at that point. Because there's a lot of newer player guides we can cover with that. As well as a few pretty fun streams. Yeah, didn't Luther get buffed? Didn't they buff him with the Broken Spire rework last year? What did they do with him again? Because I don't think I've used a Luther a single time since he got buffed, but a newer player probably would. Because there is a small duration when you first start the game where Luther is actually your strongest troop. This generally only lasts for a couple days or a week. But there is a small duration of time where Luther is your best in slot option. Oh yeah, Luther would have a bunch of new tutorial stuff too. I haven't played it since they've revamped the tutorial a billion times. They've done a lot of stuff like that over the last few years. Most of which I haven't really gotten to see. I'm pretty sure most of you haven't either, unless you guys started within like the last year. Even so, the last patch even did some early game updates. Unless you started within like the last month, you might not have even seen some of like the super early game stuff they've changed. Come on, World Angels and Merchants. Play at least one more Angel this stream. Ideally, this one was actually good loot. I think we got like, what, 10 curse shards from the last one? It is not ideal. Oh, so I always keep forgetting, that final battle technically has 0 merchant chance. The reason being is they only can occur on the battles leading up to the battle, the final battle. Which means this mini-boss battle and the mythic battle both do not have any merchant or angel chance This also applies to Underworld. You cannot actually get a Merchant Angel or any of those other effects on the very final battle of the Delve. And the same is applicable for Explore. So every time we cycle through this, regardless if it's 5 battles or 6 battles that we have to go through, or even more if we have the Merchants. I mean, if we have the Mimics, I mean. They both start with M, so there's the same word. But regardless if we have to do 5, 6, or 7, or 8 battles, those final battles are never Merchant or Angel chance. Only the first 4 are. And the Underworld's the same way. The very final room, the boss room of the Underworld, can never have an Angel, Merchant, or any of those other mechanics occur afterwards. They only occur on the battles leading up to it. Which hurts Explore a lot more. Because that means like 2/3 of your battles are basically incapable of being Merchant or Angel or anything. Or sorry, not 2/3, I mean 1/3. 2/3 can, 1/3 can't. Because sometimes you have 6 battles, sometimes you have 7, sometimes you have 8. That averages to like 2 of them each time, approximately. Obviously, it's guaranteed 1 each time. This also depends what difficulty you're doing. Because on Explore 1, you're not getting, like, you more often than not, you have 5 battles, not 6 or more. Whereas if you do an Explore 12, you almost always have 6. And a lot higher frequency of 7s and 8s. Not only the first 4 can be Merchant Angel. There's yet another reason why Explore 1 actually has a better rate for Merchant Angel too. Not only can you win, like, with a click of a button, but the actual percentage of how many battles you're doing that are capable of having something like this is higher compared to Explore 12. Due to Explore 12 hitting the extra battles more often that don't have Merchant or Angel chance. Though even if it wasn't for that, it just goes so much quicker that this would still be quicker even if that wasn't the case. Well, on top of that, it makes it even better. Doing it this way. Gosh, I'm about to go buy one of those, what are those called? That you put up that is like a big electric thing. And then the bugs fly, a big electric light, and then the flies and everything else just go straight into it. I'm about to buy one of those. Those things that zap the bugs when they fly in. Hey, second angel, let's go hand out a second code. Wow, we're getting absolutely nothing though. We'll take 2 Arania, I guess. Better than the alternative. There we go, let's go hand out a second code. And we'll hand out one more if we get lucky enough. We can have a zap counter. There's not that many of them. In the last week, 3 have gotten in. Which, you know, that's not a lot, but it's also 3 more than what is acceptable. Yeah, Arena's not bad. You have to do a lot of Arena on a new account as well. Because there is a period of time where Arena is actually your best way to get souls. Unless there's like a Vault week event weekend going on or something. But assuming a person doesn't start exactly when there's a Vault event, your best way of getting souls as a brand new player is actually Arena. And yeah, you do get those 3 daily offers from Arena per day too. And some of them are pretty useful for newer players. Yep, no problem. And if we somehow find a third angel in the next several minutes, we'll hand out a third. If we get lucky enough for one. But yeah, I'm pretty sure what I said earlier is correct. It's about 3 angels per hour. Like 1 every 20-ish minutes, give or take. Because from my experience over the last several months when we've had the mechanic, or last couple months I should say, it feels like it's about 3 per hour. The average for them. Obviously some hours less, some hours more. And that's assuming 6 wins per minute. Ooh, another merchant. Anything good? Nope. Wow. 2 treasures. Now, why can't the sacred treasure show up on the left side? I'm curious. We were talking about that the other day. But even at 50,000 gold, sacred treasure would technically still be worth going for. Even if it costs 50,000 gold to buy one. It would still eventually save you gold. Depending on how deep you go with it. So I'm really curious if they did have one for gold, what they would actually value it as. Would it be like 25,000, 30,000, 50,000, 100,000? Because that one's one of the ones that's only on the right side for gems, for 100 of them, which is way too much. But if we put into comparison how much they normally value gems to gold, 100 gems is like 25-ish thousand gold? Give or take a little. Which in that regard would make Sacred Treasure very cheap if you could get it that way. Unfortunately, there's no way to do so. To a degree, it kind of makes sense that Sacred Treasure isn't available for gold. Because then you'd basically be spending something for gold that then saves you gold as the primary saving. Which would be kind of awkward. If you spend gold to save gold. Because I don't think we have such a mechanic that loops into itself in any way in the game. Where you spend a currency to save more of that currency. I think the only slight version of that in the game, though it's not quite a one-to-one, is mass buying the glory deal. So every single week there's a offer available for 300 or 400 glory. Normally the one for 400 is bought because you get 2 arcanes each time. But there are 2 benefits to doing the one for 300 glory. One is that you're spending glory to get glory keys, something that you could already spend your glory on. And the other is you get a ton of gold. But it's kind of one of those resources that loop backs into itself, because you're spending glory to get glory, essentially. Or at least the glory in the form of glory keys. Which is one of the things that glory was going to go to anyways. But it's not like a one-to-one. Because you're only getting like a few glory keys for the 300 glory that you're spending. Here's the rest comes from the value of everything else. This marks out a really good way just to get a good pinch of gold. Like, we can get literal millions within seconds if we just kept mashing that button. It would cost 60,000 glory each time, but, you know, you'd get a lot of gold from it. Technically even more than 1 million if you opened all the keys that it gave as well. It's actually probably closer to 1.1 or 1.2 million per 60,000 glory. Which means we could actually technically break down the gold value of a glory then. Let's say it's 1.2 million. We put that into 60,000, calculator, go, because I'm not going to be able to do this in my head. Let's go do some math real quick. So, if you got 1.2 million gold worth counting everything, and this cost you 60,000 glory, each glory is worth about 20 gold. Now, what can we do with this? That means we can actually figure out the gold cost of an event key via glory, because that's one of the cheaper ways to get an event key in the entire game. Not to be confused with some of the more expensive ways, because every single week you can spend 180 glory to get one event key and a few other loot, but the only loot that's really relevant is the one event key, and that's 180 glory. So if you times 180 by 20, that is why on earth can I not do math here? Calculator, go. That comes out to 3,600, which means, yeah, it is basically 3,600 gold per event key to buy 10 per week, which is 36,000 for all 10. Which actually, if you put that into consideration of how much gold it costs to buy event keys from the merchant offer, that's actually not that good. You're getting a bunch of other loot too. You're getting some treasure maps that you're gonna never use. You're gonna get some glory back as well. So then it's even more math if we want to go try figuring that out, because that's also giving us glory for using glory. Or doesn't it? Yeah, I believe it did. Wait, what's the spoils? Oh, I can't even check because I already grabbed it. No, it was gold and souls. Never mind, you don't get glory back. It was gold, souls, 2 treasure maps, or treasure map, whatever it is, and an event key, with the only loot being relevant being the event key. But yeah, putting it like that, that's actually kind of high, because how much is it to buy the 3 event keys? Isn't it like, I think it's like 9,000? Which means it's like 3,000 per key. Meaning that the gold breakdown of spending glory on the event keys every single week is slightly higher than buying it through a merchant. But you're also getting a small amount of gold, a small amount of souls, and a small amount of treasures. Or treasure maps, I mean. So I guess it's not technically lower, because you have a little bit of loot. They are effectively spending about 600 more gold, roughly. Well, actually, if you count the 250 gold, I guess it's even less then. So you're spending like 350 more gold. But then if you minus the souls, even less. So it's basically the same. You're just getting a bunch of other junk for it. Which is actually kind of interesting if you break it down that far. Because to a degree, that means the buying event keys with glory, the 10 that you can do every single week, comes out to about the same value, gold-wise, as spending gold for 3 event keys when it shows up on a merchant. They're basically the identical value. If you take out the other little bit of junk from the other offer. Oh, we got an angel here. Speaking about free loot. Does anyone see loot here? Obviously, we're taking the red food, I guess, but wow. Well, here you guys go. Have a code. I'm not sure. Do we count this as an angel? I guess it theoretically is physically an angel. But barely. But there you guys go. Enjoy. Actually, we can still see the previous redeem code in chat. I don't think that's actually ever happened yet. I can still see the other redeem code right there. But there you guys go. Enjoy. Alright, no, don't you dare skip it, though, in all fairness. I don't think we would care too much if we did. Oh, there we go, 3 angels. Alright, we'll end it there, then. Anyways, guys, we'll be back tomorrow night, same time as always, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 1 hour prior to now tomorrow. Main goal will be clear out the class event for Sentinel. And then, yeah, pretty much get back to the same grind we were just doing. And see how many angels we can get within that time. But hey, look at that. 1 hour stream, 3 angels. Though we weren't farming that entire time, but a good majority of that time was hunting for them. Yeah, I still feel like it's about 3 per hour. Seems like it's around there. Hey, tribute's ready too. Anything good from this? There we go. Nice. Oh, and there's the 3 codes we handed out. Look at that. Thank you, whoever claimed them for us. So today we handed out a free 6 treasure maps, 3 gem keys, 600 souls and 7,500 gold. Also, keep in mind, the mythic from last weekend is still on drop table, by the way. Wait until the Friday mythic video, until it's safe to open keys again. No, but Friday reset time, you'll be able to open keys safely again if you want to get anything. But as it currently stands, it does still have the previous junk in it, or the previous mythic from last Friday. So you still want to wait another 2 days before you open them. If you want to get a nice wide drop table, that'll wait for the next mythic coming out next month. Anyways, guys, wanted to hear. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week, and I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye, everyone. Thanks for watching.